is there like a specific plan? I mean, going on strike is easy.
Nah, it's
Buildings-
hard. I did it once. It ain't that easy.
Really? You're striking now, no?
No.
In a way, you're protesting.
No.
Something, by the way, that you
I'm not
cannot do in
withholding-
China.
That I can't do where?
In China or in Soviet Russia
Actually-
or in Hungary when you were there, there's no way that you could protest in Hungary at that time.
Actually, there were minor strikes going on in Hungary that were not repressed by that date, which is late in Stalinism in Hungary. In China, there are massive, massive strikes which the government is forced to deal with in the following way. Just surround the strike and wait for the workers to get tired.
Today or back then?
I'm talking about in the past 10 years, how it's developed
Well,
in China.
past 10 years is completely different than Mao's China. Completely different.
Although,
Completely, and the reason, and what happened? China has prospered dramatically because of this turn and embrace of a capitalist system,
they
not
were always
political.
capitalist. They were always capitalist. In fact, when Mao came...
How come is that when I was in China in 1991, it was real shithole, excuse my language.
Yeah.
I mean, even worse than Russia, USSR.
So you're saying
today's
it's
China.
even more oppressive than, say, some place ruled by France, like the Central African Republic, which is a horrible place to live. The French army changing governments at will. So you're saying it's like that, pretty bad. Central African Republic is pretty fucking bad, believe me.
Yeah, worse than China, yeah.
Oh, I doubt it, but go on.
Well, actually, no, it's better. You know why it's better in a way?
Why?
Because here's the fundamental thing when it comes to those systems. You cannot leave them. You'll get the bullet in the back of your head. In Central African Republic, any African Republic, any of those countries.
You got the
didn't
money,
like
you
it?
can leave. Actually, I've done some study on this. By the 1960s, late 1960s, there were three Stalinist-ruled countries where you could leave and return relatively freely if you could find a way to get hold of hard currency.
Yeah.
And those countries were Yugoslavia, no longer allied with the Soviet Union.
Yugoslavia is different, yeah, true.
Hungary and Poland.
No,
Yes.
no Hungary. Come on.
In Hungary, anybody that could get hold of hard currency,
which was illegal. You go to prison for having hard
No. The laws were changed.
When?
In the late 60s, the laws were changed so that anybody with access to hard currency, a minority, could leave and
minority.
return.
Why can't everybody leave? I mean, if we talk about freedom,
Because the freedom that the Hungarian government was concerned about is the same freedom that any government is concerned about, the freedom for the rulers to make a profit. Sometimes they have to make a lot of concessions.
You don't like people making profit. Am I understanding? I mean, I saw you selling this newspaper for like what, 50 cents?
50 cents.
So
We do it at a loss. We do it at a loss, and we give away a lot of literature. Go online, get everything we got for free.
Then why doing it? I mean, even if you do it at a loss, you had to get money somewhere to pay for it and lose this money. Where to get this money from in the first place?
You gotta get it from the first place?
Yeah.
Since we attempt to sell to a working class audience,
Yes.
I suppose it comes from the wages of workers. Like I used to pay for revolutionary literature when I was a worker. I'm retired now. I pay for revolutionary literature with deferred wages because I belong to a sector of the working class that is living still to this day 3 times better than the average worker in New York City. I worked for the subway. I was a track worker. We are in a country where the working class standard of living is being driven down all the time. Not yet to the level of some of the poorer European countries like Greece, or even in the 2 badly off imperialist countries, Spain and Italy. Both imperialist countries. And the standard of living is being driven down very drastically there. The United States is still, to some extent, able to export the depression and recession that we have here.
I don't think that the depression and recession that they're suffering in Western Europe is precisely because of their embrace of more and more social programs, because of people like you who advocate for socialism, strikes and stuff, more union power.
Actually, the current setup in Spain after 50 years of fascism, which was, of course, a statist regime. They had nothing to do with free enterprise. It was a statist regime and thoroughly capitalist. And in fact, you could be shot in Spain for saying capitalism is bad. You could be shot in Spain for 50 years for saying capitalism is
And
bad.
in socialist countries, there is no problem.
No.
You can say whatever you want.
No.
In
countries-
Russia, in
so-called,
China.
In so-called socialist countries, if they're social democratic, you can say whatever you like.
want, really.
You say whatever you like. If they're Stalinist, obviously you mostly cannot, although in again, the exception being Hungary. In Hungary from 1985, there were not only many legal political parties as there were in East Germany. There were many legal political parties. There were no legal opposition parties in East Germany or in Poland. In Hungary, there was, as in any country where you have...
Look, we were talking, I'm sorry for interrupting you. I mean, we were talking about the theory, the history. You easily look it up. The main question is to change, you want to change the system that we have now.
Yes.
Into
a better standard of living for all, which the means of production can well afford. I call it socialism. Nobody's come up with a better word yet, despite the betrayal of socialism by the Social Democrats and Stalinists.
All right, well, good luck.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
We go by...
But you know they're going to fight you. I mean, we're on opposing sides of the barricade. You're going to I'm a small businessman. If you want to take my own business...
What do you sell?
I sell furniture.
Okay, well,
Importer,
of course...
wholesaler.
Of course, and this is something that I had to research recently.
Yes.
In Trotsky's transitional program, a document
Yes.
called The Death Agony of Capitalism and the Tasks of the Fourth
Death agony,
International.
okay.
Trotsky,
Slow death, okay.
slow, that's why they call it agony, death agony.
Yeah, okay.
That Trotsky made the point, based on his experience as a political leader in Russia, that of course the working class needs the support of the middle classes.
Meaning bourgeoisie, meaning businessmen, meaning capitalists.
Actually,
so for socialism
let me finish, will you?
Okay.
Small business people, primarily peasants, because he was thinking of countries like Russia, in which there was a large peasantry, but he also spent some time talking about small shopkeepers. And what he said is, the small shopkeeper is ground down by the big capitalists. The working class, if they show they have the power, that the capitalists, why do people listen to the capitalists? Because they're nice? No, people think they're assholes. People listen to them because they'll fuck you if you don't. They have the power. They have the power that's convincing. If the working class shows that they have social power, the petty bourgeoisie, the small, very small business people, farmers, will listen to them and they will see the workers.
I don't. I mean, well, here's an
that.
example. You're trying to convince me there's no way on earth that you'll be able to do that.
That's true.
If you want to start the revolution, I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight back to the death. I mean, literally to death. If you're approaching my business and want to take it over, I'm going to burn it. I'm going to destroy it. I'm not going to give you my business just because you think that you know better than me as small business. I mean, think about it.
I was about to say how it is that the working class will support, not attack the small business person in the following way.
Yes.
Whereas the electric company under capitalism is always jacking up the rates, the workers' state will fight for lower rates and will implement lower rates. That's one thing.
But there are costs involved in everything. Okay.
Small business people need dependable, cheap deliveries of whatever it is they work on. The workers' state will assure that by planned transport.
But who's going to build the transport? Who's going to own, let's say, a company like UPS? It's a huge company, a very successful one. So you want UPS to be turned over into what? People's power? I mean, who's going to determine the rates? How are we going to figure it out?
Well, I'm hoping the working class will be able to get together and vote on these things. We haven't done badly. The union leaders try to keep us from voting, but we do it anyway. So that's it. Have a good day.
Okay. All right. See ya.